A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer.
What is fucking going on, cunts? Rightio, so it's me. Let's try out this fucking YouTube thing. It's going to be a totally different format than doing TikTok videos because it's a lot more long format. I don't have to be so quick. So it's going to be a bit different. So bear with me. This is probably going to be a fuck show of a video, but it is what it fucking is. So anyway, here we go. We're going to do a VB style kit. It's just an extract kit. We're not doing all grain because, like I said, first time doing YouTube video, and it's going to be a fuck show. So we'll do something nice and fucking easy. I'm hoping being able to do the whole YouTube thing that I might be able to explain it a little bit better and not try and cram it all into a 3-minute video. So I really like these kits. They're like 35 bucks. It's got everything pretty much in it that you're going to need to be able to do a brew. Let's cut her open and see what's inside. I guess I don't have to do it all off camera, do I? I can just struggle with one hand. I'm not so limited for time. It's kind of strange. But yeah, anyway. So pull that fucking bad boy open. What do we got here? We get a can of extract, the Australian bitter. We got what I assume is a bag of dextrose, which is just sugar, so just to increase the gravity level, so the amount of sugar that's in it, which is the fermentables, which gives us our alcohol. Got a bag of body blend, beautiful. We got some finishing hops, cluster finishing hops, and we got our bag of yeast, so premium ale yeast. Ale, awesome. Instead of being a lager, it'll come ready a lot quicker. So other than our ingredients, we're also going to need our fermenter, which is what we'll mix and ferment in. It's got a bubbler on top. And then we'll also need just a little bucket. It's got a whole bunch of sanitized water in there. I'm doing a couple of brews today, so I've got some stuff in here that I don't really need for this brew. But just a pair of scissors. That's obviously half a pair of scissors at the moment. There's the full pair of scissors. Well, once I put them together, it's a full pair of scissors. At the moment, it's 2 halves of fucking scissors. We've got a little spray bottle that's got sanitizer in it as well, so we can spray the outside of everything. We got our kettle and a beer to drink. We've also got this jug full of water. I was going to just do everything on the whim and film the whole thing, but I've decided against doing it that way. So I've just got that so I can top the kettle up whenever I need to. And I've also got a roll of toilet paper because hay fever is kicking my ass at the moment, so to blow me nose. Let's get this shit underway. So we'll fire up our kettle. Oop, on she goes. Rightio, so our kettle's boiled. We look inside a fermenter, you can see all the bubbles in there. That's because I've already pre-sanitized this bad boy. So we take the contents of that, which is 1.8 litres. We pour it all straight into there. Making sure that when you're pouring, that is turned off, so that all your hot water doesn't come pissing straight out of there. Pour the whole lot in. Hooray. Now we take our can of Australian bitter, pull out the trusty sanitizer bottle, and just spray all the top of it. And then let that sit for a little bit, so that sanitizer, the sanitizer that's in there, needs about 30 seconds worth of touching the outside of this to just clear off any nasties that might potentially be on that can. Reason we want to get all the nasties off, nasties being outside bacteria, or we just could, heaven forbid, a foreign yeast actually be on that can. We pour that into the fermenter and shit beer. So we just let that sit for a minute while I go and grab a can opener, because I forgot a fucking can opener too, didn't I? Dumb cunt. So now we've found our can opener. Push that aside, grab our fucking sanitizer again, and just give our can opener a spray as well. Because you never know, that could have some nasties on it as well. We don't want any of that in there. Beautiful. Give that 30 odd seconds, and then we'll open up that can. While we wait that 30 seconds, take this water that we've got here, fill that kettle back up. All the fucking way. Beautiful. Rightio, our can should be nice and sanitised. See if make sure I can get that on camera. Open up the can. How exhilarating watching me open up a fucking can. It is what it is, cunts. Then we got all the contents of that. Look at how sticky that shit is. So we want to put all of that into the fermenter. So handy having a fucking GoPro now. Cool. And in it goes. It's real thick. So we pour all that in there. We won't be able to get all of it out of there, so that's why we boiled that kettle. But we pour as much of it out of there as we can. Right. Sort of cut the flow off without getting it all over the side of the can. Put the can down. Get our freshly boiled kettle of water. And pour it in. Filling it up most of the way. It doesn't have to go all the way to the very top, but pretty bloody close. About there. Now we just leave that like that for, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. Just helps to release it all, get it all mixed up in there, so then we can give it a bit of a stir and pour it all in there. Now we just get our mixing spoon, stick her in there, give her a bit of a swirl around. Try and get as much of the stuff from the edge here as you can. The lid, oh well, the lid is what the lid is. But yeah, get it all out. Now, that can, because there's boiling hot water in it, is fucking hot. So, get a trusty tea towel. Set these up over here so you can see exactly what's going to happen. Grab a hold of that bad boy and tip it all in. Now, just so you can see, there's been no edits or no fuckery going on. That can's pretty fucking clean. We got everything out of there, all the goodness. Now I take our mixing spoon once again, put it in there, and just give all that a big stir. Trying to release it all, get it all not so quite so sticky, no big chunky bits in there. Yeah, just give it a bit of a stir. We actually tip the fermenter on its side a bit. You'll be able to see on the bottom there how it's all sticky down the bottom there still. We don't really want that, so we just try and release all that up. You look in there, after about 2 minutes of stirring, it's all come off the bottom and it's all mixed in nicely. You are fucking, that'd be you, team. So now we take our bottle of sanitizer and a bag of body blend and just spray the outside of the packet. Same again, just so that there's no nasties on top of it. Now you might say, oh, you know, but it's been in the fucking cardboard packet all this time. Why is it going to have any nasties in it? Somebody had to pack that, and you never know. They might have just gone and taken a shit or whatever and haven't washed their hands like a grubby cunt. Then we're going to have potential shit particles all over it. Bad bacteria, not what we want. Again, spray bottle, and just spray the outside of our dextrose sugar too. And we let those sit for about 30 seconds. Just while that activates itself and cleans it all up. I do apologise if the filming's all a bit fucked and whatever else. First time really using the GoPro to do something like this, so bear with me, we'll figure it out. The videos will get better, cunts. Right, that's been about 30 seconds. So we now grab our scissors that have been sitting in sanitizer, so we don't need to hit them with the spray bottle because they've been sitting in sanitizer. Put those together. You beauty. Now we'll try and get this fucking sugar down the bottom of the packet so we can cut it open, which is proving to be quite difficult. So we'll just fucking give it a bit of a snippy snip. Go inside. Oh, go inside. Sounds like I'm filming a porno, not a fucking beer making video. Cool, we got that fucker open. Throw our scissors back in the bucket. Grab that fucker. Tip her in. Beautiful. Do the same again with this one. Like I say, it's had sitting with the sanitizer on it for about 30 odd seconds, probably closer to a minute now. Cut her open. Scissors back in the sanitizer. Bag of body blend. Fucking in she goes. Beautiful. Grab a hold of our mixing spoon again. It's been sitting in sanitizer. Everything sits in sanitizer always, lads. It's not just something I do for TikTok to make fun, it's actually genuine. Now we just give everything in there a big stir, so the dextrose is in there, and the body blender's in there. Give that all a big stir. We don't want any chunky bits of shit. We want it to be able to break down nicely with the yeast. There we go, just give that a nice big stir. She's all stirred up nicely. If I tip her over, you can cut down the bottom there, there's no chunky bits. It's all foamed up. She's fucking good to go. Now, the rest of the ingredients are pretty well just water. So currently we're at about 4 litres, and we want to go all the way up here to 23 litres. How do I know it's 23? Because there, I don't know if you can see it or not, it says 20, bang, 21, 22, 23. So the bottom of this ring here is our 23 litre mark. So let's go top this up to 23 litres with our fully sanitised tap water.
Oh, fuck yeah, daddy.
Right, we got that topped up to our 23 litre mark. Let's go put her back on the fucking bench. Right, so that's topped up to our 23 litres. Now let's work in our hops. I don't know if you'll be able to read this, but what we need to do is get a cup, boil some water. There's a little bag inside this. Throw the little bag into the cup, fill it up with boiling hot water, and let it sit for 10 minutes. So we still have a little bit of hot water left in there, but we'll reboil it, and we're going to get ourselves a cup. For our packet, this time I'm not actually going to sanitise the outside of it with that. I'm just going to take the packet, throw it in my sanitised water, and give it a bit of a splash around in there. Now this cup's going to have boiling hot water in it, but just to be on the safe side, I'm still going to spray some fucking sanitizer on it. So we just give it a little spray. Yuppie duppie. Now just to clarify something, the reason I said about boiling hot water is because boiling hot water will actually sanitize stuff itself. The pure heat caused by that temperature will kill off any nasty bacteria. But just because it's only going to be boiled hot water, it's not boiling hot water, I'm just being safe, that's all. For our packet, this time I'm not actually going to sanitize the outside of it with that. I'm just going to take the packet, throw it in my sanitized water, and give it a bit of a splash around in there. It's been about 30 seconds. I'll take my scissors that were sitting in the sanitizer, take those, cut open this packet. I could have just ripped it open, but you know how it goes. Should have just ripped it open because I still can't get the fucking thing open. Fuck's sake, what an absolute fucking abortion this is. Get them fucking scissors back out. Look at this dumb cunt trying to do a walkthrough and fucks it up. Absolute fucking peckerhead. I'll fucking tell you, lads. Right, there's a little bag in there. Tip that in there. It's like a little tea bag. In it goes. Then we get our freshly boiled kettle and pour that in. And we let that sit for about 10 minutes. Another little thing I've done while I've been waiting for this is put my lid back on there. Now, with all of this stuff outside, all the fucking plants and whatever else, dust and shit, you don't want anything potentially getting in there while you wait for that. So I just throw on the lid on, just keeps anything out. I haven't done it up, just sat it on top. Right, that's been 10 minutes, so we'll take the lid off of there, put it in there so it stays sterile, take our hops into there, throw the whole fucking lot in. Booyah. Now for our yeast, don't know if you can see that or not, but I need to pitch it in the wort. That's wort, unfermented beer is called wort. So it needs to be above 20 degrees, which we've got this little temperature gauge thing here. We're sitting between 26 and 28 degrees. Fucking magic. So we take our lid, put it back on there, take our yeast and throw it in there. My son's just asked me, what did you ask, mate?
Why does the packet need to be sterilized?
Good question, mate. See, everybody asks. So we put the packet in here to sterilise it, or to sanitise it, not sterilise, sanitise. Reason being, this bag of yeast was put into the packet by somebody else. Somebody else has touched this. And like we said, somebody else might have gone and taken a shit and not wiped their hands or washed their hands. So you've got to make sure it's nice and clean. That's been about 30 seconds. We'll take those scissors and cut it open. So the yeast packet's nice and sanitised. Take our scissors, cut it open. Scissors back in the sanitizer. take our yeast and just sprinkle it over the top. It's called pitching our yeast. In it all goes. Make sure we get everything out of there. Beautiful. Now we take our mixing spoon. It's been sitting in sanitizer all that time. And we're just going to stir that shit in. You don't necessarily have to stir it in. Some people stir it in, some people don't. I'm just stirring it in because why the fuck not? You don't have to go vigorous with it, just give it a light stir. Now we take our lid, bash it back on there, screw it down nice and tight. Beautiful. Get our spray bottle, spray some more sanitizer in there just to get that up to the right level. So what this little bubbler does, while the yeast eats the sugar, which is fermenting, it'll create CO2 gas. So that'll fill up inside here, that bubbler, it'll allow the gas to come through, the gas will pass out without letting oxygen back in. That's the whole point of that. And we want it to have sanitized water in it, just because you don't want it to potentially pop back in, or when you pick this up, it can suck it back in, and you don't want it to suck shitty water into there. Now we're going to ferment this one in our fermentation chamber, aka fridge. So what we've done is we've taken our fermenter, and that little belt there, that's a heat belt. So that produces heat. Obviously it gets warm and produces heat. So we'll put it in there. So that's now in there. Sorry, my daughter's out here playing with her pram, so it might be a little bit noisy. So that's in there. We've got our heat belt around that. That's our little temperature probe. I'm actually going to put another beer in right here, so that'll go onto that one, which will measure the temperature inside the fridge. Now this is my little temperature control unit. The screen's all fucked, but it is what it is. So I've got it up here. It's set down here. Sorry, I've got it set for 19.5 degrees. That's what I want it going at. Currently it's sitting at 21.1 degrees. Which is just the temperature of the fridge. Has got to now turn itself on. So the fridge, when the fridge is on, it cools it. Right, how badly did I fuck that up? It's actually quite simple. So, this is now the 5th time I've tried to record this. I just keep fucking it up. The temperature control thing on the side of the fridge, it's got one that the fridge plugs into, and one that the heat belt plugs into. The little temperature probe that's inside it, that obviously reads what the temperature is, and it decides if it's too hot or too cold. Depending on what it is, depends on what it turns on, the fridge or the heater. If it's balanced and it's sitting at exactly what I want it to, 19.5 degrees, the fridge turns off. Then if it gets too cold or if it gets too hot, one or the other will turn on. How did it take me so many times to fucking say that? Jesus fucking Christ. Right, cunts, that's that. That'll sit in that fridge now for about 10 to 12 days. Then I'll turn the fridge down, turn the fridge down to 0 degrees to let it get cold, which will then do some other stuff. I'll probably do videos on that on TikTok, maybe not YouTube, I don't know, we'll see how this video does. But yeah, after that, once it's cold crashed, then I'll transfer it into a keg, carbonate it, be drinking it probably in about 15 days. But yeah, cheers for tuning in, cunts. Only cans, Mr. Kenny B, cheers brother. Yeah, cheers cunts.